Welcome to Industry Game.
We're live on the pod. I got Pat Shea here. Pat, if you could just do a little high-level overview of who you are.
Yeah, thank you for having me. People ask me like my title. I have like a lot of different titles. I don't know. I like to think of myself right now as like an actor and writer first, but I make my income on social media, so I'm kind of also a content creator at the same time. But I came from a hockey background. Played hockey my whole life. It kind of dictated, my path really of like school, life decisions, everything. It just kind of revolved around that sport. And so like I guess to make a long story short, I'm sure we'll like maybe get more into it, but like essentially I started doing the creation thing. And because I had such a hockey background and it was my life, it naturally was something that I started, writing about and creating like content around. So
awesome. Well, yeah, we're going to get into all that. So I think that so funny, dude. We were just talking about my boy last night. So I was just telling you that I'm telling my boy you're coming on the pod or whatever. He's like, dude, yeah, his dad was my coach.
Yeah.
And then ironic enough, dude, I played on the 94 Kings.
Oh, did you?
With Coach Burns.
Because my brother actually, it must have been like.
How many brothers do you have? Yeah, I was like 10.
2. So my older brother, Brandon, is 95 birth year. Yeah. He played on the 94 Kings before the 95 team was a thing. Yeah. So it was probably only like a year.
Yeah, I was probably like 12. Okay, there was a girl on my team.
Probably before you. Yeah, I remember her actually.
She was pretty good.
Yeah. I forget her name, but I remember her out on the ice.
Yeah. So, it was just so funny because I was talking to Matt last night. He was like, no way. Like, your dad was his coach or whatever.
Yeah, my dad was a crazy coach. He was.
Was he?
Yeah. Did he not say that? I feel like that's the first thing people think of when.
So, no. I think that like every coach I played with in like growing up was crazy.
Yeah, it checks out. I mean, you got to be a little crazy to be a youth hockey coach.
I also think every how about the youth hockey community of parents?
It's a lot.
Dude, I was at a skills thing. Have you ever heard of Igor?
No.
This Russian guy used to have this skills thing, and I used to go to it in this little rink.
Okay, then I do remember this.
You remember the little rink?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever went, but I remember people talking about it.
Dude, Igor. So I was down there, and it was like skills or whatever, and I remember like we were playing or whatever, and then there was like a summer team, and then I was playing with like just a group of guys from the skills thing, and then we were playing this like tournament or whatever. We're like 10, 12 years old. Dude, this dad comes from the stands. His son's playing like shit. He comes from the stands, like goes over to the bench, flags his son over from the ice, grabs him by the cage, and like drags him to the parking lot by his cage.
Like you're not playing good enough.
Like you brought him out of the ring. Yeah, like you're not
playing so bad. I'm actually going to remove you from youth hockey.
Yes, but
you're
all right.
Done.
But dude, all right. So you get it. You're playing hockey competitively growing up, and then you go to Kimball Union.
Yeah.
What did you go for 4 years?
2.
Got it.
I did 3 years at Marshfield High.
Okay.
Yeah, and then went over to KUA, which I feel like at the time kind of is, you feel like that's in hockey. It's like at least then it's kind of different now. There's so many leagues now, but it was kind of like you need to get to prep school to like
that
go
league
anywhere,
was good too.
And so I was like at Marshfield High, feeling like oh shit, like all my friends are at prep school playing higher level hockey. Maybe I should start trying in school a little bit and get out of Marshfield.
And then you went to KUA.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sweating so bad. I just hit the sauna.
Did you?
And I'm like carrying the sauna sweats with me.
Dude. No, I love that.
But yeah, so I did. So you you go to KUA for 2 years?
Yeah. I actually toured Cushing. I was thinking about this. I might have met you at Cushing.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm just about 29.
Yeah, so I'm 31. So I would have been a junior.
So you were, I'm trying to think, it was 20, it would have been 2012, 13 year, I think it was.
Yeah, because I graduated 2014.
Yeah, so, because you said you lived with Shane, right?
Yeah. Shane,
I feel like...
Yeah, shout out to Shane Kavanaugh.
If I remember correctly, I'm like almost positive he showed me his room as like an example of a dorm room. You might have been in there.
We had the little bunk beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. We probably wasn't studying, but the...
doing schoolwork.
Yeah, so that dorm was the little dorm up on the hill by the rink.
Yeah, I can't quite remember. It was like 12 years ago now. But,
yeah, So yeah, no, I mean, I went to Cushing for 4 years, which
Did
is
you?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, prep school it's a fun thing. Did you have I don't know, when I went there, maybe because I did 3 years of public school, I totally had the mindset of like, oh, I don't belong at prep school.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a public school guy.
I loved it, dude.
I did too. I ended up loving it.
I had a great time, and it was sick because I went freshman year. So my older brother, he went to St. Mark's.
Yeah.
And then I like always was going to his games and stuff, so I always enjoyed like it was kind of sick. You go to visit him,
right?
You go to their game, and then you go to the cafeteria. All the guys are hanging out, and like they got the dorms going.
It's a cool vibe.
It's dope. And then so and then my parents just gave me the opportunity to like apply to a few, and I loved Cushing. And then
Cushing is cool.
That was the first one I applied to, and then went freshman year, repeated my freshman year, and then did 4 years.
Yeah.
And dude, it was hilarious. Dude.
It's a interesting time. There's so many like different types of people there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. And I remember my roommate from freshman year, he was from I think he was from Shanghai.
Yeah.
He was cool.
So
I lived with him. He was cool. And then my freshman year, these kids, like first week of school, they like trashed the dorm. Like they did some big, huge prank, and like
Did you get kicked out?
2 of them did. The kid that told on them didn't.
Oh wait, the one who told on them got the boot for being a rat.
No.
We have a zero tolerance for
rats.
snakes here.
Yeah. No. So the kid that we woke up at like 6 a.m. to the dorm parent, who was super intense, knocking on all of our doors. Like, get down to the common room now. Like, this guy was no bullshit. We go down to the common room, and on our way there, like, the dorm is trashed. Like, these kids were putting shoes and shit in the washing machines, and, like, I think some kid took a shit off the balcony.
Good.
Dumped all. It was so bad, dude. So then one of the so nobody owned up to it. We're all sitting in the basement or in the common room, and like he's like, who did it? And like nobody's saying anything. And then like 2 days later, one of the kids confessed.
Okay, he confessed on himself, right? So
yes, and then the whole group went. I don't think he told on them. I don't know how it unfolded.
Yeah,
but the other kids got let go.
Was that one of those moments where it actually panned out, where he was like, they're like, if you own up and be honest, we'll let you off the hook.
Yeah, no, I don't know the layout of it, but it was tough because like you do see kids get clipped.
Dude, it's actually crazy how many people they toss out of there. They kind of have a pretty low tolerance for bullshit, I guess. Like, I guess they get a few strikes, but
they kind of pick and choose who they toss too.
Yeah,
like some people get some strikes.
Probably depends what you offer the school. You know, if your parents are donating, or if you're like a full paying guy,
or if you're nasty at something.
Sport, right?
Like, like we can't lose this guy.
Yeah. Like we'll sweep this one under the rug here.
Dude, but there was a senior prank before I got there, and these seniors put chickens in the chapel in the middle of the night. And like when you go to morning chapel, there were like chickens running around the fucking chapel. It was a bunch of guys on the hockey team, actually.
Of course. That's hilarious.
So, all right, so you go to KUA, you're playing hockey. Yeah. Is that when your content journey starts? Like, walk me through, like, when do you start having like the creative itch and get into putting yourself out there and creating stuff?
I always did have the creative itch, and because I grew up in such a hockey world, I never really pursued it. It was kind of like, I'm a hockey guy, and everything else is kind of uncool.
Yeah, like school's uncool. Yeah, any creative interest is uncool.
That's what I mean. It's like if you're different, it's kind of uncool. It's especially when you're young. That's kind of like you're in like a group of guys who play hockey and sports. It's kind of like, if you go theater as an example, if I was to do theater, it'd be kind of like,
what are you doing?
Right.
Where are you going?
Or maybe that's in my head, or maybe it is true. I don't know. But I definitely felt that way. So I never really did that side, but I would make like skits at home and stuff just by myself or with my siblings, and kind of like at a young age, and would kind of edit them very amateur on my MacBook. But then in high school, I actually took a class. Marshfield had a class. They call it MSB, Marshfield Student Broadcasting. But they kind of treat it like a news thing, but so like each one has like a weather, sports, but they do skits.
Yep.
So I took that, and like the homework was to come up with like skit ideas and stuff like that.
So that was like your first go at it.
Yeah, it was the first time I was actually like exploring like that creative.
And were you posting it online, or were you just kind of stacking it and saving it?
So in that class we made like, I don't know, probably like 5 or so. They're online, but you have to, dig to find them. They're out there.
Yeah, but that like gave you like your first interest in it.
Yeah, it gave me it was like the first time I was acting, and I was like, oh, this is fun. I want to do this more. But it wasn't until college where I actually started like posting.
Right. So at what point do you like decide to pull the trigger and like post your first piece of content and be like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm putting myself out there and doing this.
It was junior year of college. I did vlogs.
Really?
Yeah, I did like day in the life of a college athlete. Vlogs.
All right. So and you're playing hockey at UMaine at the time.
Yeah.
And how do you mix this in?
Dude, I guess the type, I was just like, I'll do it and then ask for forgiveness rather than permission from my coach,
Oh, is that, okay, yeah, there you go.
Because I didn't.
That's the best way to do anything.
Yeah.
You're way better off asking for forgiveness than permission.
I didn't run it by him at all. I was just like, I just posted it, and actually, luckily, he liked it. My coaches actually.
Was he a beauty?
Yeah, but he was older, so he didn't really understand that. So it was actually kind of surprising. He was a really good guy. He sadly passed away, actually.
Sorry to hear that.
Coach Red Gendron. But yeah, he was like he actually loved it and saw another side of me.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like quiet, at least to him. And then he was like, saw this like humorous side of me in the vlog. So he like brought me in the office. I posted it. I had a feeling it was okay because my assistant coach was like, texted me, he was like, hey, I think you're onto something with this. Like, I like this.
Yeah,
like, okay, so I think they liked it. But he calls me in the war room, the coach's war room the next day, and he's sitting there and he's like,
you think you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, geez. He just gives me a silence. He's like, I saw your video. I fucking loved it.
Really?
I was like, oh, okay. Good. All right. So let's go. But then it's funny because, he's a coach and obviously out of school, so he starts thinking about, how it's going to look for the team or whatever. He's like, couple notes, like,
feedback.
Less swearing. You said the F word a lot. Yeah. Less swearing. And there was a moment, 12:32 in the video, you adjusted your nuts.
Yeah.
Let's not do that on camera. I'm like, oh.
He loved it.
My bad. Yeah. No, but he did. He loved it. And then I think as it went on too, he let me do my thing more. He stopped really pressing me about the swears. He kind of, because then he would go to like the coaches meetings and he would have like coaches' kids come up to him and be like, do you know Pat Shea? And he'd be like,
yeah.
Well, like,
because everybody's watching.
Yeah. Like, well, I coach him,
Yeah,
I definitely know him.
Yeah.
So he kind of saw that.
I'm his producer.
Yeah.
I'm his
yes, I know him.
I'm his acting coach.
I love when people do that. Like they clearly like
they know
you're his coach.
Yeah.
Do you know Pat?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think so. No.
Yeah, do you know someone? So they're like on your team.
Yeah. But so he kind of saw it like had some reach, and it was a better look for the program if anything because it just was exposure. You know?
So what are like the layouts of your vlogs at this time? Because this is before you get into doing the skits, right?
Yeah. My mindset at the time was like, I saw it working for other athletes.
Yeah.
So in other sports. And I was like, well, there's no hockey guy. Like,
right.
So I saw it as an avenue into the creative space, which ultimately I wanted to do acting.
Yep.
Which probably not the best way. It was, I look back, I'm like, because then people kind of like got hooked on my hockey career and were following me because of the status of being
a hockey player.
Yeah, college hockey player. And
so at the time you get drafted to the Panthers in high school, right? What are you, 18 when you get drafted?
Yeah.
And then at that time, are you full boat on like trying to pursue this hockey career, or you still have the itch with the acting? Like, where's your headspace at this time?
My headspace was always like, after hockey, I'll do acting.
Right.
And I didn't know even what it meant or how I was going to do that. I was just like, that was always my mindset. And at the time, you know how like when you're younger, time seems like you have more of it.
Yeah.
It goes by slower. You know? So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll like, you know, the perfect world. I'll play in the NHL until I'm like 25, and then I'll dip out.
Go to Hollywood.
I'll just go be a movie star or something. You know?
Yeah.
That was like my delusional mindset. But yeah, so I did actually, I always had the itch and the plan. But when I was 21, I turned 21, and it was the summer before my junior year, and I was kind of like, like, you know, I used to say like at 25 I was gonna do acting, and I'm kind of like, shit, I'm kind of like, when am I gonna do these things that
you're thinking about?
That I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna do that one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm kind of at that time where I should probably start doing something, and that actually was like why I started doing it. So
and that was when you started the vlogs.
Yeah, I went to school like with the mission. I'm like, well, I'm gonna make a day in the life vlog and just like start somewhere and just put something out there, and that starts me on that trajectory. You know?
And your vlogs, do you start by like going around campus and just like documenting your story? Because you do that before the skits, right?
Yeah, they were so amateur and like so different than what like you'd see now on my page. Like I was obviously younger and less experience on camera, and I just picked up my phone. At the time it was an iPhone 7, and just like vlogged very amateur. Yeah, just like put the phone up. I didn't have a microphone, or it was just the phone, and it was so.
But you got started.
Yeah, it was so like no production and no plan besides like I'm just gonna walk through my day, and naturally I'm sarcastic, so I had this like dry sarcasm throughout the thing. I was almost like spoofing my life in a way. Like everything I did, I would kind of like joke with a straight face, and so that kind of became my shtick. Where that slowly I got a camera and I started becoming a little bit more. But
and you had like some editing experience from in high school?
Yeah. So I did know how.
So you start cutting up your own clips and your post production. You're doing the editing and stuff, and you start posting it. And then it seems like you had a good group of guys up there. I don't know if they're on your team or whatever, but was that guy Wheels on your team?
No,
he's the best. No, he's fucking great.
Wheels,
shout out to Wheels.
I know, dude. He's so
because you guys would always pop up in my feed.
Yeah,
like,
he's so naturally funny. Yeah, he's just a really funny guy. He's a Canadian kid. He's got that dry Canadian humor and super witty, like very sharp.
Yeah.
He actually, so like I met him after college. He went to UMaine. He was a freshman right after I graduated, and he used to watch my vlogs.
Really?
So he wanted to like meet me because he went to Maine for track. And then it was
he didn't play hockey.
He did growing up, but not at Maine.
Oh, okay.
So I had a friend that was on the track team, and then he randomly got committed like to run track. Yeah. Like hurdles or something. Right. Because he's a tall guy. Yeah. He like got injured in hockey in high school, so he just started running track and went D1. Yeah. Because he's a natural at a lot of things. Yeah. But so I met him through like this friend, and he ended up being like a funny guy, and then like we were hanging out or whatever, and we had this like really good chemistry and like humor dynamic where
you guys are great.
We would say the same thing at the same time and stuff a lot. Like we had this very similar mind, so I was literally just like, hey, do you want to like do some skits?
So you guys are wait, what's the grade separation, or is this after school you guys started doing skits?
Yeah, so I was I started doing the skits like right after I graduated. Okay. Right when I was like, I have no one telling me what to do anymore. Yeah. I'm just going to start doing my thing now.
With like no rules. You don't have to worry about saying whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like 2020. COVID happened. Okay. So I spent a lot of time up at UMaine because I had nowhere else to be. And I was like, I might as well just go like party and experience college that wasn't as a D1 hockey player.
Because you're done playing for UMaine at this time.
Yeah, and I had a gap year from hockey because of COVID. So I was like, might as well just like go have fun, hang with
the
friends.
Boys.
Yeah. So I was just
with the track
up there.
Team.
Well, just him. But I had my roommate, this Latvian guy, Ed Trailmax. He was in a lot of my vlogs. He was like my roommate and my good friend in college, but he still was at Maine. So I would just go stay at his place. Yeah. and I would be there for like 3 weeks at a time, just hanging out, just doing nothing but making skits and, you know, drinking at the time.
Is he the guy with the long blonde hair?
He has, blonde hair. He's a tall guy. He's he was a funny personality too. He was very helpful in my early creative days.
It's huge to have a couple guys that help. You know what I mean? When your buddies are down to like help you get it going.
Yeah, it's super helpful, especially with a team where you don't really know what people are going to think and how they're going to handle it, and then having a friend that will like hop in there with you. You don't feel as alone.
I also, that brings me to my next point is like, I feel like, what was when you decided to step out of your comfort zone, were you worrying about what other people were thinking about? Because I think a lot of people have a hard time doing things because they're worried about what everyone's going to think.
I think most people don't do it because of it, actually.
So at what point did you decide, like, fuck it, I'm going to do this acting thing and I'm going to post it?
Dude, each thing I do, it's like, I'll get nervous again. I love that actually now because I actually love feeling nerves.
Dude, I get nervous before every pod.
Yeah, it's good. Like, every time I'll do something new, especially, like, I'll get nerves and I'm like, this is good. I'm feeling like, I don't know, it's human. You know? Like, this is good.
You're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, because like exactly. Going out of your comfort zone because you do something a lot, you start getting comfortable with it. So then like,
you get stuck.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, this is good, something new, and I feel nervous. Like, I love that, actually. Yeah. So like, when I first posted online, I was terrified of like, dude, like actually physically shaking. I remember I made the video, the vlog, and I put it up on YouTube, and then I didn't actually share it for like another day because I was just nervous.
You were scared.
And I remember like posting it and like shaking, being like, all right, like I'll just put my phone down and like let it go. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the most nervous. But then like I started doing the skits and I'm like, I go to post it. I'm like, oh, I feel nervous. Like this is new. I don't know how people are going to handle it. Yeah. You know, but then at that point, it's like, I'm a little more experienced, so I'm just going to do it. Yeah. And, you know, whatever. So like with each thing, I'm less like afraid because it's like, you know, I've done it before and I care less about what people think. But early on, I was very much like, what is this guy from high school going to think? What is like my childhood friend? You know, like it's so, you start just going down these holes of like, Jesus,
what are all these people going to think? Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was funny when I went. So I went abroad to Italy, and I was always like interested in like clothing and fashion and like streetwear and stuff like that, and like kind of wearing what I wanted to wear rather than like what was kind of expected. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I feel like in boarding school, everybody was like, you just get chirped. Like if you step out of your room wearing the wrong color hat, like someone's gonna chirp you.
Dude, I know.
And I think that like for me, when I went abroad to Florence, I went abroad with Maddie, your cousin, and I was in Europe with my boys, and we were wearing whatever the fuck we wanted. And I was like, dude, I'm in Europe. I'm gonna like live this up. And then when I came back to school, that was like when my boy and I decided to like start a streetwear company. Yeah. And like post it. And like obviously that's not acting and stuff, but it was still for me getting out of my comfort zone. Yeah. And I think that like that moment was just like a moment where I was like, dude, fuck it. I don't care. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Like I just can't care about what somebody from high school or from home's thinking about what I'm posting. Cause like obviously I want to do this thing. And again, like going towards that fear of just like hit and post was just a big thing for me. So I feel you on that.
Dude, it's so relieving too. Like once you start doing it and you like, you actually like feel, cause you have a, you know, vision of like who you are in your head, you know, and like who you like really are.
And who you want to be.
Right. And then like you start progressing towards that. Through like maybe it's for me it's like posting, maybe it's you like dressing a certain way and then posting about like the clothing and whatever, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm actually like I feel like me, you know?
And then you look back at like your body of work, whatever it may be. Like I don't even do the clothing anymore, but like that thing just got me comfortable with being uncomfortable and trying new things out.
No, exactly.
And I think that that's an awesome thing to lean into
for sure.
But I was telling my boy last night, I was saying I was pumped to meet you because I don't know any creative kids in Boston that are doing anything like what you're doing. And I I lived in LA for like 3 years after school. Yeah. And a bunch of my friends did a whole bunch of creative stuff, whether it was like YouTube or acting or like, and they were always just like trying new things and putting new things out there. And that's what I loved about living in LA. Was like I was around people that were just trying new things out and okay with like just having egg on their face and just getting up and trying it again.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with like my boys from home and they just don't have that interest.
I get that. Yeah.
But like, and that's kind of another reason like I started the pod, because I was like, dude, I want to connect with people that like I find interesting that are doing cool things.
Dude, absolutely. And I think you start to attract those people when you start putting yourself out there with it. And like that happened to me. I felt so alone when I was first doing it. Like, especially coming from a hockey world, like there's no creatives in the locker room. And if there is, like they're not telling anyone and, you know, they do whatever in private. But so like I had this mindset of like, I would come back home and I'd be alone and I'd be like, oh, like there's no one around, there's no creative people. And then like you start putting yourself out there, and like so I started doing the skits and stuff, and then I would do like a casting call for like Full Ride when this progress. And then all of a sudden like I meet this guy, and then I meet this guy on another set, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's actually like creative people here. They're just, you got to find them.
Yeah. You know, and the way to find them is by putting yourself out there. And
yeah, so like recently I've met a lot of the filmmaking community in Massachusetts, and it's like I was with a lot of them last night. And I'm like,
so walk us through that. What does that look like? So like, when did you start getting into like building that network outside of like?
Yeah, dude. Well, like I said, because that was always my end goal. It's like always what I wanted to progress towards, and it's funny, like because I don't know, I get ahead of myself. Like you have like a vision, you like, I really want it. Yeah. And sometimes that can be stressful. Yeah. You know, and then whatever. So like I said, I started posting having no idea how I was going to do these things I want. And I actually put out like I said it in a video. It was like, I want to get into acting. I just like said that. I did like a story of my life video or something like back in the day. And then someone sent a casting call for a movie in Minnesota. It was a hockey movie. And I was like, all right, yeah, it was 2020, fresh out of college and COVID. So I was like, I don't even know when hockey's happening. So like, sure, I'll send one in.
Going to Minnesota.
Yeah, right. I send one in, just like not really expecting anything because I had no acting experience. I was doing some skits, but all of a sudden I get like a call back, and leads to me getting this like supporting role in this hockey movie. It was an indie, but a decent budget. It was like $1 to $2 million or whatever budget, which it's a small indie, but it's pretty. Yeah, there was some good actors out there. I fly out, I have the time of my life there. Got canceled because of COVID halfway through filming, but the meeting those people there in this specific situation, it was creative hockey people, which obviously same background, same like personalities and stuff. Like it was cool. And also just the fact that I was like, they like saw something in me. They casted me in this, you know, like, so I had this spark of belief. I'm like, well, I could do this.
It's awesome when someone gives you that. Yeah. If somebody gives you that, it's huge.
Dude, it's so true. And I was just like, yeah, I can do this. You know what? Fuck it. Like I'm just going to start making skits like full time, like fuck the vlogs, you know? I'm like, okay.
So this is when you flip the switch and you're like, I'm producing skits.
Yeah. I was like, what am I doing? Like, what? I'm like, I don't want to be a vlogger.
Yeah. You want to be an actor or a producer.
And even still, I was like, I don't want, so it put me in like a weird spot. Cause then I was like, people that wanted vlogs about my hockey career, like, when are you playing pro? When are you doing this? You know? And then like in my head, I'm like, well, shit, like I'm trying to pursue this other thing. Like I don't want to be known for my hockey career. I want to be known for like, you know, the material, the sketches, the acting, the comedy, you know? So I started slowly progressing towards that, slowly pushing the vlogs away, and then doing more of the learning and figuring out how to do comedy sketches and acting better, while I was actually still playing pro. I did 2 years in the minor leagues.
Right.
While like in my head, I was kind of just like figuring out how to go full time at the other
into
thing.
the acting.
Yeah.
So the whole time you were playing, were you kind of thinking like, I'm about to veer off into this acting thing?
Yeah.
Like, so you were kind of getting over it. Did you hit a point where you were like over hockey?
I got burnt out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It became a job. It felt like a job. And I think a lot of that's because, well, one, because I had this other ambition and passion that I always wanted to do. And I think that was always my dream.
Yeah.
And hockey was something that I was put into and kind of told it was my dream, maybe. And I ended up being good at it.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I did like it. I don't want it to seem like I didn't like playing hockey. When I was a kid, I loved hockey.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. But as I got older, I started being like, oh, I don't know that I want to be like, even if I could make the NHL, I don't know that I even want to.
Right.
I think I would rather be an actor. Like, so when I got that movie offer, I was potentially going to be playing in the Coast that year for my first year pro. And I was kind of debating which one to do. Should I go do the movie or start playing hockey?
Yeah. And what did you do?
Well, I chose the movie because I looked at it if I could choose my perfect life, like which would it be an NHL player or would it be like a super successful actor? And I was like, I'd rather be an actor. So that was like my big switching moment. But I also didn't make money at the time. And I was like, oh shit. Well, I'd rather go play hockey than go like get a desk job or try to get a desk job. I don't think anyone would have hired me, but try to get a job and do something in the meantime. I was like, I'll just go play hockey and see how that is. And I'm glad I did it because I also now know for sure, like I didn't want to.
Right.
And
did you get any pressure from like any of your friends, family, coaches or anything when you were veering off into this acting career?
No,
and leaving hockey or?
No, I mean, my dad was like the one I had this conversation with and about like making that decision of like which life would I choose. And he was like, he's a big hockey guy. You know, he's like still a scout for the Avalanche now. Yeah. And like, he was the one who put us on skates and like, you know, wanted us to be hockey players. And he was like super supportive, like do your thing, like do what you want to do, you know? So I didn't care what anyone else thought.
Yeah.
Like my family supported me. I mean, the only noise I really heard was from people who watched my vlogs. Like,
oh, that were following your own
like
content.
Yelling at me, like, "What are you doing? Go play hockey!" You know, like all mad. I'm like, like, what did I do?
What did I do? Yeah. All right, so you're pumping out the skits. What was the first skit that you guys did that got traction?
It was a slow grind. I mean, it still is, dude. I've never had like I've never had this like overnight blow up thing where I'm still like, I've always had this slow grind, which I actually appreciate. I appreciate that because you actually are learning and getting better at your craft before just like blowing up overnight.
Yeah.
But it was 2022. I started getting some traction in the summer. I had a skit do pretty well. I leaned into the hockey humor because I was like, okay, I have these hockey fans. How can I try to like get them to watch so my engagement doesn't like drop? So I did like a small skit. It was like a hockey player on the first day of class or something.
Yeah.
Which ironically I recreated in Full Ride, but it did pretty well. I was like, okay, I'll lean into this hockey humor thing. Mm-hmm. And then I did one, it was like 2 or 3 at the same time. One was like hockey. This is funny. I'd actually recreated a lot of these moments better in Full Ride because I was like, I could do these better.
Right.
But it was college hockey players meeting their teammate for the first time.
Yeah. Wheels.
No, well, that was in Full Ride.
Oh, okay.
So the original one was with my other friend, Zach. And I did that one. And then like a small skit, like, I think it was like, what was it? Teachers or something? Like
I know
professors
that one.
If hockey players are professors.
I saw the clip where I don't know who's like, yo, teach or something. I don't even remember what the skit was, but I love the. I think that the comedy playing into the hockey thing is like also such shareable content in between, like, because I can't tell you the amount of times it's passed along like group chats and like the DMs with my brothers and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a niche, but it's like
it's so shareable too.
Yeah, it's a strong niche. Like people are passionate about it. And because I played it and I was in that world, I think the moments I'm having are very relatable to other people who played hockey. And
and it's also such funny content because I was talking to my buddy the other day. He played at Michigan, and then he played at BC. And I was telling him I was having you on or whatever, and he knew of you or whatever. And it's so funny because I was with them the weekend before, a bunch of hockey guys.
Yeah.
And like, even though like just like the play on words and everything of any of the guys from high school or whatever, it's still the same bullshit.
Yeah.
And it is funny because although it's comedy, like we still shoot the breeze like that.
Oh, I know.
In such a serious way.
Yeah.
So it's so relatable.
I exaggerated a little, but it's like, dude, it's so true. I actually I realized this more as an adult of like how much I think my dad instilled that in me. Like when I'm younger, I'm thinking about like we'd be driving and he'd be like, Pat, how's the right wing? You know, like driving down, like
the mirror,
how's the right wing? You know, like this was just normal for me in my life. Or all these like hockey lingo references in your real life. You know,
well, you can kind of play it into anything.
Yeah.
The fun, no, I think it's great. And then also like, so you start doing the skits, and then when does Full Ride come in?
After, so when I decided to call it on hockey, I almost just about 3 years ago now. I just dove into it like blindly. I'm not blindly, but like I dove in head first. Like,
you guys have like a legit production.
Thank you. It's
like you got the fucking like. First of all, I want you to just like high level walk us through what Full Ride is, so that everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a Full Ride's a 5-episode. It's basically my own sitcom. It's a 5-episode comedy TV show about college hockey players that I just released on YouTube myself. They're full 20, 30-minute episodes. It was something I've always wanted to do, initially inspired by Blue Mountain State. I was a big fan of it.
Yep.
So it was on my bucket list.
Mountain
I know,
State.
Such a funny show, dude. But I was something I wanted to do. So when I stopped hockey, I did these like parody day in the life videos. I was like, well, because I ended up starting a new YouTube channel, but to try to get people to watch the comedy, I was like, I'll do parody day in the life videos. Like, because at least they used to watch the real day in the life videos. Now maybe they'll check these out. So I did these short films, like a real day in the life of a pro hockey player, a real day in the life of a high school hockey player. And these worked pretty well at the time. I learned a lot fast. I did 3 of these like right after I stopped playing hockey. And I learned a lot about acting, mostly writing, and like filmmaking in general.
Did you take any acting classes in college or high school aside from that drama class?
No.
So you don't have any like
formal training,
formal acting or production or any of that training going into this?
No.
Just you're learning as you go.
Yeah, I just started and learned as.
All right.
As
so how do you think having no background in acting prior to doing these skits helped you?
I actually think it's a blessing in disguise in some manner, because I didn't overthink it.
Yeah.
Of like I can look back on those like short films even I'm talking about that were like right after I stopped, and I'm like, I wasn't doing that good, maybe like acting wise, but I was learning fast because I was just jumping into it. And I think that's the best way to learn. Most people aren't publicly learning. So, whatever, you can think that's it might not be your way to do it, but I just jumped in it. I also really didn't know filmmaking because I didn't take I knew, basic stuff like camera angles and whatever. But I didn't know what all that went into like a crew and as a production side. And again, I see that as a blessing in disguise because I posted it with full confidence,
right?
Not knowing I was cutting any corners or not doing anything, like some things wrong. And it worked because people liked the content. People laughed. That's all that mattered.
Nobody cares about the lighting can be the lighting, but like
that's what I mean.
It's the product.
Yeah. So had I gone to film school, maybe I would have I wouldn't have even done it because
you probably would have had to wait for the perfect studio.
I would have been like, oh, I need to find 20 grand to make this, you know,
Right.
or like I need to find more to make this and I have to get a full crew and whatever. And like, I was just like, yeah, let's make this short film. I'll get 2 guys to hold cameras and we'll just run it and like improvise and we'll do it. And so I think it worked out.
So
good.
how do you get, walk us through, how do you get the, like your show? Like I'm like White Pines University. We got I love the campus shot, by the way. I love you guys,
Thanks, yeah.
but like, how do you, cast your crew and then cast your acting crew? Like, is that what you call it? Casting the acting crew or?
Yeah, the cast.
Just
like,
How do you get the cast? Like, I mean, you had coaches and shit in there. Where did you get these guys?
Dude, so by the time I got to that, I had progressed. Like I said, I learned a lot fast. And even still, like I'm learning. But I started feeling like I was figuring it out writing-wise and acting-wise.
Yeah.
I actually did a movie called Shattered Ice. It's potentially coming out at the end of this year. It's a hockey movie about a mass high school hockey team. A different story, but anyways, I did this movie January 2024. Again, learned a lot being on that set as an actor because like I dive headfirst into things and I commit to it. Like I don't have formal training, but like I really study it a lot. Like I'm not just like blindly doing things. Like I do like study techniques and stuff online and I watch people and what they're doing and try to apply it. And then I watch my own stuff and tweak my mistakes and try to get better and whatever. So I do this movie and I loved it. Obviously it was like a dream come true. And then I also saw a lot of like the production side, but even still I couldn't really afford to, hire all this team of crew, So when I'm doing full ride, I just start writing it. I'm just going to do it. Like at the time I was 26, turning 27.
Yeah. So how do you start full ride?
It started with the writing. And I because like I said, it's something I always wanted to do. I wanted it to be like a real show. I was like, I want to get to a point where I can make this TV show. But then I'm like, well, that could take 10 years to pitch, like might never happen. And by the time it gets greenlit, I'm the coach, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, I'm just going to do it. I'm at the age I can play the college kid. Like, fuck it. Like, I'll do it. Low budget, whatever. So I start putting the pieces together by writing it first. And then that was also something too I wanted to make sure, because before I was doing a lot of improv and I was like, I need to make sure I have like a script and punchlines and whatever. And so I dialed on that. Then for casting, like the coach, who was hilarious and he was like the perfect role and such a like steal, if you will. Yeah. Like he was because he's so talented and funny. I met him at a CCM hockey event. They had him doing like a stand-up bit.
Really?
Yeah. Probably like 5 months before this. And he was like shitting on kids because like they set him up for failure. It was like this event that was not for stand-up. And like his audience, these like kids, 10-year-olds in the front row, and he's like sick. Like, so he's just like roasting these kids. And I was like, this guy's funny.
He's our guy.
Yeah.
He's our coach.
When I was writing it, I was like picturing him. I was like, I'll just reach out to him at some point. And luckily he was like, yeah, I'm down. So he was a big one. Wheels, I told you how like that happened. And G-Sun I met on that. So that's our trio. It's me, Wheels, G-Sun.
Was he the other did he play with you at UMaine?
No, I met him on that movie in Minnesota.
Okay. Did he play hockey too?
A little.
I felt like these guys were like on your line at UMaine.
Yeah.
For some reason. You guys were like that close.
The chemistry. Yeah. We did I did find out we had a good chemistry, and that's why like I kind of wrote it surrounding that trio. Everyone else was just like, I put backs up on backstage casting calls for like, a scene or like I needed them for an episode. So it was like, come in and just film with us for 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. And
what is that? Is that like a website?
It's a casting site. So like you can put a bunch of indie stuff on there and just like submit. So and this is again, I found out like a lot of local actors that want to act and they don't really care if they're being paid a lot because they just want
experience.
Yeah. So like I didn't really have much of a budget at all. So like I would pay these guys like very little amount of money, but they were down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how I kind of like brought the cast together, and it was a roller coaster. Some like people backing out like during the shoot, and
then having to like improvise throughout it.
And yes, as far as the crew, dude, like I tell people, like I filmed it in a way I was like, I don't care too much if it looks like overly cinematic, because it's a comedy. We'll light it, you know, just as long as we look pretty good and it passes the eye test, you know?
It looks great.
Because, like, I mean, you see these sitcoms, like you watch Friends or whatever. It's not like cinematic.
It's in one room.
Yeah, and it's like the 5-camera sitcom or whatever, 4-camera sitcom, and it's lights like this. You know, it's not like they have shadow on one side of the face and stuff. It's just lit. So I was like,
Friends did fine.
If this works because of the comedy, then I'm okay. Like I don't need to overthink this. It's the comedy that's going to carry it. But I do my best trying to make it look as good as possible. But I had 2 cameramen, one guy holding like a boom mic, and then I was setting up the lighting.
Really?
That was my whole crew. Scene. Yeah. That was all I had. And then I
produce that whole show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I grinded.
And you're writing everything.
Yeah.
So what does it look like? So for each day you're filming, do you say, all right, this is Wheels' lines, this is what's his name's lines? Yeah. Or is it a lot of improv?
It was scripted. There was some improv. It depended on the scene. I scripted out all these scenes, and I kind of would like, they do these, it's like a call sheet you can do like, but I wasn't like that organized, because it's like, I mean, I was, but not like as formal of like all the filmmaking terms, you know, like, but
it's so awesome though.
I would like, I would just print out or email the scenes we were doing that day and send them to everyone. But I would Lovell Arena, Lovell Academy.
Yeah.
Timmy kind of like hooked it up. He
with
let
the
me
rink
film, dude, in his whole school there. Like he has classrooms.
Oh,
dorms.
that's the campus?
Yeah, well, like inside.
Okay.
Outside was at I didn't ask permission, so I was
he that's all good. He has classrooms at that rink.
Across, it's like the rink's off to the right.
So you pretty much got a rink and classrooms covered.
Dorms. Dining hall if I needed it, which there was one scene there.
Yeah, because dude, I was gonna say, like, what does the locker room even cost? Well, dude, your locker room was super legit, dude.
Yeah, Timmy just hooked it up for me. Like, and obviously, like, I thank him in like the credits and stuff. I'm shouting him out now, like Lovell Academy.
Shout out to Timmy.
Lovell Arena, and his whole program. But like, he hooked it up for me, and so, but whatever, I would organize it by location. So like, I had we did 2 shoots. We did 3 episodes in June of 2024, and then 2 episodes in August.
Yep.
I would do Monday and Tuesday. We're gonna do all the dorm room scenes of these 3 episodes.
Okay.
So we would just shoot, out of context, out of order. So it kind of had to be scripted. But you can improvise as long as you stay on beat. Stay within like end at that same spot, hit the beats or whatever. But so that's kind of how we did it. Like if I did locker room, I was like, we're gonna do all the locker room scenes today. It's Monday. Let's bang them all out.
Yeah, and then you got uniforms and everything.
Yeah, that was another like men's league sweaters. Hooked them up for me.
Really?
And I was like, this is perfect. Like,
it's so crazy when you just start something, how many things just somehow come together.
I know.
Right?
And like people wanting to help, and
because I'm watching it and I'm thinking about like, damn, this kid must have had a huge budget for this project. He's got the rink with the locker room, the classrooms. He's got a coaching staff.
Yeah, and the extras are all volunteer too. Like they just volunteered their time.
It's awesome. So you produced that show, and then like you put it up, and it's like that first project. Was that like your first full big production that you produced, oversaw, and ran?
Yeah, it was definitely the most like formal for sure. Because like I said, the other ones were just kind of like running gun. Like let's see let's see what I can do, and learned. But as far as like being like a full project that I really took the time to write it all and do all like the things and try.
Did you edit it?
Yeah.
You edited that shit?
It sucked. It like fucking.
Really? Do you still do a lot of your editing, or do you?
I do it all right now.
Really?
It's until I kind of can afford to hire someone full time or even by project.
So you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot. I don't want to. I kind of have to.
Yeah.
And editing,
but I feel like it gives you so much, like, you see and hear all these people that are like Ben Affleck or these actors, right? And like who like they do a little bit of everything. And I feel like if you build it as you go, then you can say your editor, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. And then you can say to your writer, like, we need to, you know what I mean? But if you're only the actor, it's tough to coach up the lighting guy.
For sure.
Right?
It's also, it's tough, dude. Like, it's a way in now because, like, it's hard to make it as an actor traditionally. Like, you're winning a lottery in a sense. Like, you're being chosen.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I felt that way with hockey. It's like, you know, I'm waiting for someone to give me permission to play. You know, it's like if the coach doesn't play me, I can't play. Yeah. And that's like very, you know, black and white. And it's that way with acting. You're either casted or you're not. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm just going to
start creating.
I'm just going to write it myself. So I like create my own roles. Like I was the star lead role of a 5-episode series. What, you know, whether it's on YouTube or Amazon, it's still like experience and work that I'm doing rather than hoping and waiting. So, but if you
hoping you get picked,
yeah, and if you can't write and, you know, create something yourself, you're just waiting and hoping.
Yeah, and that's no way to live.
No, I don't feel.
You don't want to do that because also it's like when I lived in LA, like a ton of my friends are actors, actresses, whatever. And to your point, the hoping and waiting thing doesn't work because you're just. Your headshot and a couple of your that's not going to cut it. But when you can put shit online and create your own narrative, you have complete control, but then you just have so much more exposure. So like if you even have a video if you put a skit together, and I know you get like crazy views, but I'm saying even if you put a skit together and it gets 100 views, like you have 100 times more, you got 100 times the chances of like striking luck than if you don't put that up.
Someone seeing
so
you.
Multiply that by like 10x, 100x, and it's like it's just reps.
Dude, it's like it's real though. But like I mean, I essentially landed a movie role, my first acting role in Shattered Ice because I had an audience. Like I had people knew who I was. I walked in the casting call like that day, and the writer knew me. Yeah, and I jumped a whole line. I could play hockey too. That helped. It was a hockey movie. Yeah. But being like, you know, a somewhat, you know, notable name in the hockey world and especially locally, he was like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, let's put him as a supporting role. And I have a lot of, you know, I have some actor friends who were, I think they were like a little mad that that happened. Like they were kind of like, I've been auditioning.
Waiting.
I have an agent. And I've been auditioning, and I haven't gotten a role, and you just like got a role, and I'm like, that's kind of, I don't know, that's
how important do you think it is if you want to get a head to create your own luck rather than waiting?
That's how I live. I mean, you know, some people will even see it and still want to do it the traditional way. Yeah, I personally have just never been the type to wait for anyone, and but I see it as like. It's a different grind. It's just like, you know, you're still working, and then like, but I think it just starts putting you on the trajectory, and then ultimately compounds. You can have more control and power and influence of like a project, or, you know, rather than being a no-name guy, you kind of just have
another guy in line.
Yeah. And I think there's benefit to it, especially as time goes on. Like, you see like a Shane Gillis, like he's like obviously like the top example, but he has his own show Tires that Netflix picked up, you know. And I think,
was that a show that he had created on his own prior?
He filmed that all independently, and Netflix bought it because of who he was. Like, and obviously it was funny, but he's Shane Gillis, and they were like, yeah, we love it. Let's put it on Netflix.
And that's him now. He's probably catching a huge check.
Yeah. And I think that's like shows too. He, you know, made a name for himself, and now he has his own TV show, and he's the star of it. Rather than like, you know,
working his way from being this guy to this guy to this guy.
So I think that I like that path.
I love that outlook. I think that people think that they need to have this crystal clear roadmap as to how to do everything. And I was dealing with that when I started the podcast. I started this like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've always like been interested in like creation. And I always had an interest in like media and entertainment and just like that. Those are like just some interests of mine. And with the pod, dude, I was like, dude, I'm just going to get 2 microphones at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
And I'm going to plug them into my laptop and I'm going to call people and find out who wants to come on. And I called a few people and then I called a few more. And the first fucking podcast I did, the guy didn't show up.
Really?
Dude, the guy didn't show up. And he's like, he didn't show up.
Oh,
and I was just doing it on my couch with like the 2 mics. Yeah. But I was like, you know what, dude? Like, and mind you, like, I'm not like super tech savvy with like computers, mics, all that. Like, that's never been my thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna like keep calling people, and I'm gonna keep scheduling interviews, and I'm gonna just like the audio might be bad. Like, I didn't even have video at that time, and I'm just gonna like keep getting reps. Like, I just
start
don't,
somewhere.
Yeah, like I just don't care. I'm just gonna keep doing it. And now, like a few more episodes in, I'm getting like a little bit better at like getting organized. And then I got to the point where I was like, oh, I can go to a studio and do this where I don't have to worry about the audio clipping. And then I was like, just kind of progressing with it. But I think that for so long I thought about doing the podcast and waiting for the perfect time to do it. And I was like, I don't think that exists.
No, I think a lot of people feel that. Like they're waiting for some perfect time. Like I have friends they'll come up to me. I don't want to feel like I'm shitting on them, but like a lot of people come up to me and they're like, oh, like I want to
do this or that.
I want to do this and I want to start creating content. And so I'm gonna be honest, like I typically just humor like, oh yeah, you should do it, and I mean it. I think you should, but like I'm like, they're never gonna do it.
You're never gonna do it
because most people just wait and think that like you need this perfect time, but the reality is like, just start and then you'll figure it out and learn. Like you don't need the perfect camera and whatever when you're starting. You don't need a $3,500 camera because like it's not why it helps, obviously, but like it's not why people are listening or watching. It's like if you start and you have good content or good,
it'll go.
Yeah, it will find,
and you'll get better at it.
And then then the production will, elevate.
Yeah, and then you just fine tune it a little bit more each time, and you get a little bit better at it. Yeah. I interviewed this guy a few weeks ago. He was he's the CEO of ZoomInfo, which is like a publicly traded company. And I hit this guy up on LinkedIn as I'm hitting people up all the time. And I had him come in here, and we sat down and we shot it for like an hour. And he was the man. And something he said to me, he was like, dude, I only do things that benefit ZoomInfo. And like in the way he looks, aside from like his family, he was like, his outlook on life is like everything I want to be doing aside from like the time he spends with his family. He wants to be like, he asks himself, does this move ZoomInfo forward? And that made me think about the podcast where I was like, okay, this podcast is not Joe Rogan's podcast yet. Yeah. We're getting there. Episode, he's got a couple thousand episodes ahead of me.
A couple thousand more listeners.
Yeah.
Nothing great.
But he's got like 2 zillion listeners. No, but what he said was, he just made me think, and it was kind of one of those moments where I was like, wow, like this guy just took the time to sit down with me and said that. Yeah. And I was like, this must, like, even if it's some views or I can get him some content, I'm adding some sort of value.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously he and you, like the guest is the product providing the story here. And that was kind of one of those moments for me where I was like, wow, like that's awesome to hear. You took the time to come here. You see this as valuable.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed my perspective on like, how do I make the guest experience? Like, how do I keep elevating it so that I get better at it each time, but also having the studio and it feels like a little bit more legit and experience.
Helps, dude. I mean, the studio helps.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you obviously when you're starting, like, don't overthink it. Just start, because I do think that is important, because once you start, you're in the flow of like, you think about it less. The production value does help, especially with a podcast. I feel like when you're like trying to get a guest who maybe is like, notable or super successful, like for them to give it the time of day.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to come to my apartment,
right?
Go up the elevator, I buzz him. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want.
It's less appealing,
right?
And also less appealing. It's like, yeah, we'll just like do it on Skype or Zoom,
right?
Like we'll just be on like a computer. It's less appealing for someone to be like, hey, let me take the time out of my day to just like go on a FaceTime with you.
Yeah,
like when you're in a studio and it feels
legit,
professional, it helps.
I was in. And then I work all week. I work 6 days a week. So I'm like, so Sunday's usually my day to record, which worked out great. But last weekend I went to New York to record for like the month. And I did 4 on Saturday. Dude, 4 in a row, dude. 4 podcasts in a row is a lot of podcasts. Dude. I was fucking out of gas at the end of it.
I'm sure. That's a grind, dude.
But like that was something I realized that like you have to just kind of like I can't do like a noon podcast in the middle of the workday.
Right.
So I stack them up and then you do them and then it's like I get to sprinkle them out throughout the month and then I'm kind of covered for the month.
Yeah. I that's how I do stuff too.
Do you stack everything?
Yeah.
Or try to like front load it so then you can kind of sprinkle it out?
Yeah, I think it's a good way to do it if I think if you have more money to do things, it makes it easier. But at least for now, it's like like I'm editing a series I'm almost done with. It's a sketch series, but it's 10 of them. I filmed them all in like 5 days, and then I've just been editing them all, and I'm gonna release them after I'm done editing.
Do you do one episode at a time? Or
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna release them one at a time. But I find that like you film it all and then get that part done, and then you're like, okay, now I can edit.
Cut it up.
Yeah, it's a little less weight, I guess.
Do you ever look like? Do you ever have those days when like you look back on like what you've built and you're like kind of going through your channel, being like, wow, like this is fucking what I. If you asked yourself 2 years ago, did you think you'd be where you were today with your acting?
Dude, I don't know. Like I do. I had a very strong vision, and I'm very like stubbornly optimistic.
Yeah.
I think I've heard people call like delusional confidence. I definitely had that. Like and I think I do occasionally look back. I don't feel like, because I don't feel like I'm where I want to be. And maybe you never do. Maybe you never feel that. I do try to appreciate the fact that like I make money doing this. And I think like I try to be like, okay, that's good. Like I'm okay. Like I don't need to stress or like, I obviously want to keep going and I want to make a lot more money. But it's like, I sometimes try to be like, okay, I can appreciate that I'm like doing it though. And I've made progress, and I try to, and I'll look back and be like, look where I was, 2 years ago even, and where I am now. And I see a lot of growth in like my acting. Like I'll watch stuff I did and cringe at myself so hard, like even 2-3 years ago. And I guess so. I do sometimes take a look back and like appreciate that I've made progress towards this goal. And it's a cool feeling too, because you can have a vision in your head, and if it starts to unfold, not exactly, it never will be exactly, but it starts to unfold in that direction. It's like, okay, like I'm making progress at that thing. Yeah, and how do you feel when like people come up to you and like recognize you for your art and what you're creating? That's cool. It's sometimes like a relief and a breath of fresh air, because I get so caught up in editing and stress about what's next and making it to where I want to be. And, like I'm not there yet. I need to keep going. I need to work. And I get so like caught up. And then sometimes like I'll go to like a Bruins game and I'll get recognized a lot. And I'm like doing something right here. Yeah, like I need to remember, like I live in my own bubble in my apartment, and like I forget, like I don't think about it sometimes of like, the views are people. Yeah. And especially at the Garden. Yeah, you get so in your head. You're like, oh, this video only got 20,000 views or like 10,000 views. This is a lot. But that's a lot of then I'm like, people, man. All right, like, I kind of, and so it makes me like reappreciate that part where it's like, okay, I'm doing something right. It makes me like feel a little less stressed, and then also like, oh, this is cool that I'm like impacting their life. These are strangers, and they find my stuff and relate to it, and I don't get a laugh. It makes their day better, and I think that's cool. It's awesome. Another thing I think is like people don't realize I feel like when I lived in LA, I kind of realized this with like
the actors and the celebrities and stuff, like people just see them as like Brad Pitt. Like they don't see everything behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or like The Rock or whatever.
For sure.
And it's like, yeah, they're superstars and all this and that, but like all the behind the scenes, like you're talking about, like nobody sees you in your apartment editing. They just see your shit all over the internet. And it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like you also see, back to your point about the people in the line that are just like waiting for somebody to call them to get up to bat. You're in your apartment editing it and creating it, and then you're putting it up and getting, let's just say you on the low end 20,000 views, like, and you're bummed about that. But like, imagine, what would you say to the person that's in line that's aspiring to create stuff, that wants to act and get going? Like, what would you advise them to do?
Dude, I always advise people to just take the initiative. I think that would always be my advice. Like, I'm not a traditional guy. Like, I've never done anything the traditional way, even with hockey. And, you know, I wasn't always like the guy to be picked first, you know, to be committed or offered a scholarship or whatever, you know, and I was a late bloomer there. And so I think got in this habit of doing things myself and keep pushing until like
get what you want.
Yeah. Like I'll just get so good that they'll have no choice but to like,
get so good they can't ignore you.
Yeah. And that's kind of how that's my mindset. And I just think, I just don't sit around waiting. I think just take the initiative. I don't know. I just don't think that's a life to live. Obviously it pans out for some people, you know, the small percent of people who do get casted and get a career out of it. But I don't know. I don't see it as,
you can also do both. Like if you want to get in the casting line, get in the casting line, but you can also go back to your apartment and learn how to edit.
I think it only helps.
Shoot it and then go from there. What has hockey taught you? What has hockey helped you with? Like, in what way has hockey helped your acting career? Whether that's in discipline or focus.
The discipline, a lot. I think, especially because I was a late bloomer, like I just said, and I was smaller growing up. And I'm small for hockey. I mean, I'm above average for the average humans, standing at 5'10.5". But for hockey, that's small,
right?
You know, so like even still, I'm like a smaller guy. So I really focused on getting stronger in the fitness part of it.
Yeah.
So I could, you know, be really fast out there, and I have an edge over people in other areas where like I maybe lacked in height. So I became very disciplined in the training part. And so knowing and just like making it to D1 and playing pro, and it taught me a lot of like what it takes to be good at something, you know, like how much work it takes. And then also like when you should rest, you know, like sometimes just going all out all the time isn't smart. It's training smart,
recover,
not just training hard, you know? And I think that's a very valuable thing to learn, especially like I learned that really heavily in my last 2 years playing in the minor leagues, where, cause I was so like just having fun, less weight on my shoulders about hockey. And I wouldn't, at that point, obviously like I had developed a lot of skills cause I was in my 20s, but I had this, like, I wasn't doing too much extra work. If I wanted to work on my one timer or whatever, I would really focus on like, what are the like mechanics of like taking a one timer? Like, what am I supposed to be doing with my body? Let me like really watch what people are doing. I'll do that
rather than just going out there and taking one timers.
Yeah. And like, I'll apply it, and I was like, I'll do it. I don't need to overdo it.
Right.
And like it's more minor when you're at that level because you've been doing it for so long. It's like very minor things you're working on. But I found the most beneficial thing for me was like, I go to practice, take a few shots after, whatever. If I want to work on something, then I'll just get off.
Yeah.
I'm not staying out a half hour longer. I'll stay out 5 minutes longer. I don't care. Like, I'm at the rink, I practice, I'm gone.
Right.
If I don't have to go to morning skate, I'm not there.
Right.
And because you're at the rink so much, you'll get burnt out so fast that having a fresh mind and like energy for
you'll
the
actually
game,
play better.
Yeah. Like much more loose, like just having more fun. You have more
you're
energy.
almost in flow state.
Yeah, more energy in your body. And I was like, okay, there's
you're making less of a big deal about everything.
Less is more.
Yep.
And so that fact has something I apply to this, but I also struggle with sometimes because I feel like if I'm sitting around, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. But like taking the time to make something, especially with the way I make stuff, like making sure I take the time to script it out, have a plan, and don't just go in like
on a whim.
Yeah. And stuff, that, and just not rushing it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
What advice would you give to athletes that have a creative itch?
I think it's the same, like just do it and don't stress about like what your teammates will think. I would rather be me and maybe be considered uncool to your teammates. I'd rather be myself and be uncool than faking all the time to be cool. I just think that's a super unhealthy way to live. And I think a lot of guys do that. Just when you're in like a group of guys, you kind of feel like you need to do what's cool or you'll be an outcast. And I just think you'll be so much happier being you than pretending to be someone else, and just do your thing,
100%. Is there an actor that has been like a North Star that you've looked up to since getting into the acting thing? Like, is there one OG that you're like, that dude's fucking...
There's a few. I mean, like, especially growing up, I loved Will Ferrell.
Isn't he all time?
He's the best, in my opinion.
He's so good. Yeah. Dude, he is so funny. He doesn't even need a leg.
No, I know.
I don't even need him to say anything, and I'm laughing.
The way he says things is it's just so funny.
Dude, the way he's
so good.
Dude, I saw this this clip of him and the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers sitting on like Jimmy Kimmel or something, and they both have like the hats on backwards,
like twin,
and they're just sitting there. And dude, I swear, man, that guy cracks me up. Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
That show
he's the GOAT for me. Like as far as comedy actors go, I think he's the best.
He's unbelievable.
I mean him, Mark Wahlberg. I was a big fan of like. In high school, I loved his comedy movies in particular rather than, his like action stuff.
One of my favorite Wahlberg movies was a little like, obviously, I think Ted was my favorite.
Yeah, Ted's a riot.
Ted's a great movie, dude, especially if you're from Boston.
Yeah.
It's all time. But, all right, I got some rapid fire questions for you that I always like to wrap up with. All right, so if you could have dinner, it's dinner with, all right? Yeah. So Tom Brady or Michael Jordan?
Tom Brady.
Will Ferrell or Snoop Dogg?
Will Ferrell, for the reasons I just said.
Yep. Yeah. Will Ferrell or Jonah Hill?
Will Ferrell.
Robin Williams or Chris Farley?
Robin Williams, I think.
Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy?
I could do either one. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
That's a tough one. Dave Chappelle.
All right. What is it? Jerry Seinfeld or Larry David?
Jerry Seinfeld.
All right. This or that movie. Ready? The Hangover or Superbad?
Hangover.
Step Brothers or Talladega Nights?
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers was so good.
I love that.
But Talladega Nights was really so funny. Good, dude.
Yeah.
When they're at the dinner table.
I know. No, they're both hysterical.
What was Pineapple Express or This Is the End?
This Is the End.
21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street?
I love both of those. I guess 21. It came first.
Yeah, I like 21 more.
Yeah.
Ted or The 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Ted.
Okay. What was my next one? Oh, no, I had another one that I had a couple hockey movies for you. But I didn't write them down. I'm not that good yet.
Yeah.
Miracle or Mystery Alaska?
Mystery Alaska.
Slapshot or Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks.
Dude, I watched Mighty Ducks. I must have seen Mighty Ducks D1, D2 probably thousands of times.
Yeah, same.
Because I used to go to work with my dad every Saturday.
So good.
And when we were growing up, we would go to work with him on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And he had 3 movies with this little TV that was like this big. And it was it was like D1, D2, and I think D3, and we would just watch them on repeat.
No,
for like 8 hours.
They were so good when you were young.
Those are the best movies to rewatch.
It's funny now. I rewatched them. I guess it was probably like 5 years ago now, but I rewatched them as an adult, and then I started seeing all the flaws in the hockey.
Really? Yeah.
I was dying laughing. I'm like, they're swapping hands. Like the stunt double, and like they'd go from a righty and then to cut angle and he'd be a lefty and stuff.
I gotta watch it again, dude. Dude, I loved Gordon Bombay.
Oh, they're classic, dude. I'll pick the hockey part as an adult, but I mean, like the humor holds up.
Yeah.
They're great. They're funny. Yeah. They're entertaining.
Is there a show that has been like one of your favorite shows?
Blue Mountain State, I loved, but I was also still am like I'm a big fan of some of the classic sitcoms like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, That 70s Show.
Yep.
Love Workaholics.
Yeah. You know what was it kind of an OG show growing up? Drake and Josh. I loved that show.
That's a classic. Yeah.
That show, I feel like we had such good TV when we were growing up.
I know.
Like Drake and Josh. I mean, what else was there?
Drake and Josh.
I know. I'm like blanking on all these other shows. Like, Even Stevens, dude.
Yeah, no,
Even Stevens was great.
Classics. Zoe 101 was.
Zoe 101 was great. That was on. That was filmed out at Pittsburgh. Or which Pomona College?
Oh, it starts with a P, right?
Sick campus. Yeah, I thought I was gonna go to
the fictional is PCA. I'm trying to
imagine if that was your boarding school. Yeah, Pepperdine.
Yeah, I know that would have been cool.
And then. Have you? Do you ever go out to LA?
I've been there like 3 or 4 times. I think.
Hell yeah!
It's cool. I've done it like a week at a time twice.
I feel like a lot of the acting is like starting to like come out of LA and like people doing what you're doing because you can create everywhere. Your own thing.
And every like casting call is like virtual now. And
is it?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's good if you want to make connections, and it's probably good to get an agent. I don't have I guess I do kind of. With like the local agency, but they're like strictly if there's a local movie, though. Right. Typically it's like a supporting role, but I don't have like a traditional acting agent, which would be beneficial for in some manner because you want to audition for other stuff, but also like
you're also creating your own stuff.
Yeah, I also don't like. I love creating my own stuff, and I don't want to just do any random acting gig just for the sake of acting. I kind of would rather enjoy the role.
Yeah. Oh, another legendary movie I wish I added to this was American Pie. I would think
those are classics for me too.
Yeah. Those I feel like those have a similar humor as like your like storylines.
I was so influenced by American Pie in high school. Like
I gotta rewatch that shit. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah. My like the parody stuff, like the pucked up things they did, I cringe at them now, but there was one last thing I want to mention about one of your, I think it was, I don't know which episode it was, but you guys like kidnapped does a professor get kidnapped or something? Wheels gets kidnapped.
Oh, Wheels gets kidnapped. And then like the cops like arrest you guys. Yeah. And then the kid's like, that's playing the cop or whatever. It's like, we're going to let you guys go since you're on the hockey team, but like you can't be kidnapping professors or something. I was watching that in my car the other day. Like I was listening to it and I bursted out laughing, dude. That shit was all time.
What did he say exactly? He was like, because we wrote that part together. Like I had something and he kind of added his own spice.
That was laughing.
Classic. He said like, I know you just let off live rounds in your professor's house.
yeah, that's it.
Like, yeah. He improvised that part.
But he's like, but it's okay because you're on the hockey team.
I'll let it go this once.
No, and I love the way you guys play into like the narrative of like, okay, if you're on the hockey team, you can just get away with everything.
Yeah, that was like,
I love that.
That was our mindset. Like, I kind of the theme of the show was kind of that like you go in with that mindset, but it's also not the reality.
Right.
It's like this false perception of how people view the
college hockey.
Yeah, the college athletes, but it's not actually the reality when you're there.
Really?
So that kind of played into that theme of like being like, what do you mean we have to go to class? Like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is absurd. Like, because that's how people think.
They totally do. They think like once you get there, not that I played college hockey or anything, but like, they just assume like you just go up there. You don't have to go to class.
That's what I mean. Like,
you just
you don't have
chicks.
to do anything. You don't have to even open a book or like
we have to go to class.
Book that's so old fashioned now. You don't even have to log into the database.
Dude, we had at our library at Cushing, we didn't even have books, bro. We had fucking no books. Well, we had books, but it was like a Kindle based library.
Yeah, damn, wow. Yeah, it's all virtual now.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking a cakewalk to go through school now. You just ask ChatGPT.
Dude, for real. I mean, yeah, when I was there, it was like Chegg.
And I would homeworks, right?
I just look up everything. It's like, it's right there. This is great.
Did you have one like legendary story at KUA from the boarding school experience?
No, I don't think I had anything that pops in my head of being like legendary. I did enjoy my time there, though. It was, I think I wish I enjoyed it more. I had that mindset a little bit of like, oh, we're in a prison. You know, like,
dude, no so freedom. Many people hate on it.
Let's get out of here.
And then you leave there, and then you realize like how sick it was to live with your buddies in high school.
Such a cool experience. I don't know what we were on about. It was just like the trend of being like, oh, like
we're too cool
jail
for this.
Here, you know. Like, meanwhile, we're just like having the time of our lives. And
wait, one other skit that you guys did with the cops, bro. You're like, you play into like how everybody that played hockey is either a cop or something. Like you pull somebody over. What do you say?
Yeah.
I don't know what you said to that guy, but that was a classic.
It was like if a hockey player or when a hockey player becomes a cop, right? And, I was deep in the hockey character then.
That was classic.
I forget what I even said, but I was using like references. Yeah. It was based on a real moment, actually. That
really
sometimes sometimes the best sketches write themselves or best scenes because like. I obviously exaggerate them and shift them so they're entertaining. But like that one as an example, I was driving up to Kimball Union the year after I graduated to just, that was the trend. You like went back, saw your buddies graduate, clap and stuff. And I was driving up there and I was going a little fast. I get pulled over.
Yeah.
And this like cop, it's like, oh dude, like where are you heading? Whatever. I'm like, yeah, Kimball Union. He's like, I see some hockey sticks in the back. Like, would you play? Like, where do you play? I'm like UMaine.
Yeah.
I played at Kimball Union. He's like, dude, no way.
You're the fucking man. You're good.
He literally, I said this in the video though too. He literally said the college. He's like, my brother plays at this college, and we played at this prep school. Like, big hockey family.
Hop in, dude. Yeah. We're going.
We love hockey. Like huge hockey family. My brother's still playing. Like his brother's a D1 player.
Yeah.
Actually, ironically, that 3 months earlier, like caught me on a weird angle into the boards and fucked my AC joint.
The cops,
it's his brother. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I know your brother.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a dick though.
Yeah,
but whatever. So he's like, dude, big hockey guys. I'm like, sweet, this guy's gonna let me go. Like he's gonna give me. He comes back. He's like, all right, so I'm gonna give you a $400 ticket.
He actually did give you a ticket.
He's like, it could be this amount, but I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna let you off with only $400. I'm like, you fucking asshole. I thought you were gonna sweet talk me. Like we were like the hockey guys, No,
dude, but that is classic. Awesome. Well, I always wrap up with a couple questions. First one being, if you could have dinner with 3 people from any time period, who would they be and why?
Dude, I feel like 2 of them would be my parents at a younger age.
When they were younger?
Yeah, like when they were in like college age.
And you're at your age now?
Yeah. Or like my parents, or like my parents at my age. Like I would, but more so like 22.
Wow.
Like what they would be like. I've always wondered, because you just see them as your parents. You're like, what were they like away from me? Like,
right.
Or like before being a parent. And I just always have found that interesting. Maybe that's not like an insightful.
No, that's a cool one though.
Answer, but I feel like that.
Like see them as like your age as a peer rather than like your parent, because your parents are just, you know what I mean? You've always just looked up to them from.
Yeah, it's like what would it be like if I hung out with my dad? Would I fight him? What would that be like?
Yeah.
Would we butt heads because we're too similar? Like I don't know. So yeah, that would be 2. And I don't know. I was trying to think on this. I may even say like myself at a younger age to like try to instill some wisdom in my young idiot self.
Yeah.
Like stop being so angry all the time.
And where are you guys going to eat? The Marlboro Sports Center.
Yeah, the New England Sports Center snack bar. Just really shoot the shit. That's a good spot, dude.
Yeah. That's a crazy rig, dude. I feel like there's a fight in that rig. I think parents are going at it once a weekend up there.
Dude, oh yeah. There's just too many games happening at once. It's what it is, man. Yeah. What a place.
And then the last one is outside of your own, what's your favorite brand and why?
Dude, a brand that I actually like, I don't have any type of sponsor with or whatever, but there's this guy, Greg O'Gallagher.
Yeah.
Kino Body is his account. He's like a fitness guy. Yeah, and he's a natural, obviously, or I'm pretty sure he is. He says he is. I think he looks natural, but I became a big fan of like his whole like training methods and everything, and I applied a lot of them to how I train. But I started taking his product, like the Kino Body, Kino Octane. It's like a very good pre-workout because it's not like too much crazy shit in it. It's kind of like some caffeine, some other L-theanine in there, like whatever. And I take it most days of my life, like even instead of coffee. So like,
and it works.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's because like there's nothing that crazy and there's no beta alanine like giving you the jitters and stuff.
Yeah,
so
like C4. Yeah, I'm taking C4 in high school. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. So like that sucks. So I tell people I drink pre-workout in the morning. They're like, "You're fucking nuts." Dude. Yeah, you're like, no, it's like not that. It's like a good pre-workout. So that, I guess his product, like Kino Octane, would be the one.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Pat, dude, I appreciate you coming on. Where can everybody find you?
You find me on any social media app. Instagram, pshea25 is the username there. But Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Pat_Shea or just Pat Shea, and you should be able to find me.
Hell yeah. Pat, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
Great stuff.